Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And today we are featuring Gian Francesco. Yeah, that's his name, right? Gian Francesco Malipiero. Now, Malipiero was one of that early 20th century group of composers, along with Casella and Respighi and Ghedini and folks like that. They were essentially late Romantic, trending into neoclassicism. They remained tonal. They were not members of the avant-garde. They wrote some really, really splendid music. And I have kind of a pile of it here that we can go through, beginning with this wonderful disc. This is a terrific disc. It's got the Malipiero and Casella violin concertos with Andrei Gertler, the superb violinist, and the Prague Symphony Orchestra under Václav Smetacek. Yeah, wow, baby, on super fun. The Casella is actually the more interesting of the two concertos. It's a transitional work from his sort of Mahler phase to his neoclassical phase, and it's a big, brooding, wonderful piece of music. The Malipiero is from 1932. It's more classical or neoclassical in its ambience, and it's quite a bit shorter, 21 minutes as opposed to 31. But these are wonderful works to hear, and very, very interesting. And if you are a violin concerto person, you're going to want this disc. You really will. I have one upstairs too. I have two of them because I really like it. Then we've got some opera things. A comedy in 3 acts and a prologue. I Capricci di Caio, whatever it is. It's with the Kiel Philharmonic under Peter Marshak and a bunch of singers: Martina Winter, Marcus Müller, Grobenta, Kielefold, Bernd Valentin. Oh, you've never heard of any of these people. It's only 93 minutes long, and it's zippy. It's zippy and entertaining. And it has Capricci in it, so whatever. Now, this disc on Dischi Ricordi, actually, from 1992, contains chamber music of Malipiero. And the reason I got this, it's very good chamber music. The Sonata a Tre for violin, cello, and piano, which might as well be a piano trio, but he calls it Sonata a Tre. And it's a big, juicy, half-hour-long work. It's wonderful. Then there's the Sonata a Cinque of 1934 for flute, violin, viola, cello, and harp. That's the reason I got this. I'll tell you about it in a second. Then there's a Dialogo number 4 for flute, oboe, clarinet, horn, and bassoon, a wind quintet, in other words. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, yeah, it's a wind quintet. And the Quartetto per Elisabetta. Elisabetta pops up a few times in Malipiero's work for 2 violins, viola, and cello, i.e. a string quartet. It's his 8th string quartet. It's only 12 minutes long. Anyway, here's the thing. I got the harp thing, the Sonata a Cinque, because I was at the Kuhmo Music Festival in Finland, and it's an amazing thing. I mean, it's one of those typical European things where they decided to stick a music festival in the middle of absolutely nowhere. I mean, Kuhmo has one traffic light that flashes, and a pizza place that has strange orange reindeer milk cheese. It's quite interesting, and a beautiful concert hall, which doubles as a movie house in the winter when it's dark 24 hours. It's like above the Arctic Circle or close to it, with mosquitoes the size of helicopters. It's really a fascinating place. And there's a school. I mean, there's kind of a town, and there's a school and a church, and all of these operate as venues for the Chamber Music Festival during this really, really intense couple of weeks. So I was up there as a guest of the festival writing about it. It was a lot of fun. And there was some marvelous chamber music. And the harpist was the harpist from the Amsterdam Concertgebouw. She later moved to the Orchestre de la Suisse Romande, I think, or one of those groups in Switzerland. Very, very talented harpist and a very pleasant person. And she was looking for chamber works with harp that were a little bit unusual because, when they invited you to come to the festival, if you were a performer, they really use you. I mean, she had this station wagon at her disposal to move the harp around between the church, the school, and the concert hall. And she was really, really running. And she wanted some interesting new repertoire to do. And I said to her, there's this piece by Malipiero, and I'd heard it, but I didn't have a recording. I didn't even know if it was recorded. I knew it existed, and I heard it once in some other. I can't even remember where, but I heard it, and it was really nice. So I looked it up, and here it was on this disc. It may have been the disc that I heard, although I don't know whether I heard it on the radio or I heard it live. I don't even remember. I just knew Malipiero wrote a chamber work with a harp in it. So here it was. So I sent it to her, and I don't know what happened. But there we go. That's why I had that. And it's a lovely, lovely work. Then we've got all the symphonies. There are quite a bunch of them. There's 11, at least 11 of them, yes. With the Moscow Symphony Orchestra under Antonio de Almeida. I was hanging out with Tony when he was making these recordings, so I sat with him and looked at the scores. And Malipiero's orchestral writing became increasingly crabbed as he got older. He started out, like I said, as sort of a late romantic, then a neoclassic, and then he became steadily more chromatic and gnarly and kind of less enjoyable as he got older. He had a long life. He lived from 1882 to 1973. So here we have, let's see, disc number 1. These are worth hearing. The performances are a little scruffy, but they get the job done. And it's interesting to hear this music. They're not long works for the most part, but it begins with the Sinfonia del Silenzio e della Morte, silence and death. Isn't that fun? Then you've got Symphony number 1 in 4 tempos, like the Four Seasons. It's a Four Seasons piece. And then you've got the Elegiaca is number 2. Then we've got a disc, the Sinfonia del Mare, which is 23 minutes in a single movement of ocean piece. So you see there are 11 numbered symphonies, but there are at least 2 or 3 others that are symphony somethings, but not numbered. Then there's the Symphony number 3, Delle Campane, the bells. And Symphony number 4 is In Memoriam. It has a lento funèbre second movement. And let's see, Symphonies 5, 6, 8, and 11. Okay, Symphony number 6, Degli Archi, has for strings. And Symphony number 5 is called Concertante in Echo, with echo ensembles. Symphony number 8 is Sinfonia Brevis, which is by no means as short as symphony. It's about 25 minutes long, 23 minutes long. And Symphony number 11, Della Cornamusa. Cornamusa is a bagpipe. This is tiny, tiny, strange little symphony. It's 3, 3, 2, 2. So that's 10, that's like 11 minutes. That's all, with a little bagpipey thing in it. Symphony number 7 is Della Canzone, of songs. Then there's Sinfonia in un tempo, at one tempo, which is another solid, long, 26-minute long movement. And the Sinfonia per Antigonida. You forget who Antigonida is. It's in the notes here. You'll figure it out. But we've got, this one, like I said, two more of them that are symphonies that are not numbered. They're kind of sort of programmatic. Then we have Symphony of the Zodiac. This is the longest of them because it's the most, let's put it this way, it has the most movements. It has, it's another 4 seasons. It does spring, summer, autumn, and winter, according to the signs of the zodiac. There are 3 movements within each of the seasons. So it has 12 movements, and it's really quite interesting and fun, and it's also not numbered. Then you've got Symphony number 9, Del Aime. Oy vey, aime, that's what it is. I mean, it sort of burbles along for like 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Then all of a sudden, at the beginning of the last movement, it starts, and then it just goes with like a whack on the tam-tam or something. Aime, oy vey. This is a scream of despair in the orchestra, and then it sort of goes on. And then we've got Symphony number 10, Atropo. And that's all of them. That's a lot. Interesting. I mean, it's interesting stuff to get to know. You're not going to like all of them equally, but they're worth hearing. Then we've got, let's see, this is a wonderful disc with the Veneto Philharmonic Orchestra under Peter Maag. Yes, the great Peter Maag. 7 inventions, 4 inventions. Symphonic fragments from the opera Il Finto Arlecchino and Vivaldiana, based on Vivaldi. These are all in Marco Polo, all these discs. They're really, really fun. So there was that one. Then there's this Marco Polo thing. Three Goldoni comedies with the symphonic fragments from 3 Goldoni comedies. These are wonderful pieces and delightful music. So this is with the Orchestra della Svizzera Italiana under Christian Benda. And the 3 comedies are, let's see, The Coffee Shop, Grumpy Slur Todero, and Quarrels in Chioggia. Okay, whatever that means. Then you've got Stradivario, a ballet in 1 act for orchestra, which is 15 minutes long. La Cimarrosiana, which is like Vivaldiana. It's, based on Cimarosa. And Gabrieliana for orchestra, based on Gabrielli. All great fun on Marco Polo. This one is his 6 piano concertos and his variations without a theme, which is also for piano and orchestra. It's only 8 minutes long, with Sandro Ivo Bartoli, piano, and the Saarbrücken Radio Symphony Orchestra under Michele Carulli. These are fun pieces. I like these better than the symphonies, actually. They're never going to get performed. Because they're all too short. They're 13 minutes, 15 minutes, 17 minutes, 16 minutes. It's just not going to happen. So the only way you're going to enjoy them is on disc. And they're very enjoyable, I found. I like them a lot. And last but not least, the 8 string quartets. Also fine works, and also welcomely brief, between 13 minutes here. The last one, which we talked about already, the Quartetto per Elisabetta, is 11 minutes. 12 minutes, 60 minutes. They're brief and pithy and well written and enjoyable, and they should be played once in a while. And you could work them into chamber music concerts without too much problem. This is on dynamic with, let's see, who's playing? Oh, the Quartetto Darchi, the string quartet di Venezia. And they're very well done and interesting stuff. So there's a composer worth getting to know. And I've got a lot of it. I've got it upstairs too. There's some other wonderful stuff. I've done some videos about Malipiero. Check out the reviews at classicstoday.com for more detail on these recordings. And also some of the ones that I've done here on this channel. We've mentioned him as well. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Mahler is up next. Ah!